and it could lead to Traitor Paul's downfall. The result of Wednesday night's banishment was revealed to viewers, while the players at the round table are yet to hear from the unlucky contestant whether they are a traitor or a faithful. But the result will inevitably lead to another elimination, a murder, in the next episode. Fans are convinced this inevitable murder will result in Traitor Paul being rumbled by the faithfuls, with his downfall thought to be on the cards. Despite managing to stay under the radar for days, Paul's confident behavior has raised eyebrows with some of the faithfuls. Then, he and fellow traitor Harry threw one of their own under the bus on Wednesday, as they turned on Ash for the second time. This and the thoughts of the rest of the group saw Ash accused of being a traitor, and she was ultimately banished. But given Paul and Ash had joined two others in the castle dungeon earlier in the day as part of a twist, fans are convinced Paul's days are numbered. On Wednesday, host Claudia Winkleman told Traitors Paul, Ash, Harry and Miles they had to place 4 players in the dungeon, putting them under the spotlight and at risk of being murdered. Given Ash had already been accused of being a traitor, the group decided putting her in there would be the best option, and might throw people off the scent. Paul also put his name forward, believing it would also keep people off his back. They then chose to put Andrew and Meg, given Andrew was least likely to be a traitor, and Meg was another name tipped to be one. The hope was that Meg would be banished, and Andrew might be suspected of being a traitor. Claudia had explained that all 4 of those in the dungeon could be at risk of being banished, and one of them would definitely be murdered. It didn't really go to plan though, as Andrew was saved by the players from the dungeon fate, meaning only Ash, Paul or Meg could be murdered. Except traitors were not allowed to be killed, so only Meg could suffer this fate. Claudia explained to viewers that this left the traitors in a sticky situation, because if Meg was banished at the round table then it would leave Paul and Ash. With neither of them able to be killed, they would both walk into breakfast the next morning, therefore giving away neither of them could die and are therefore traitors. Luckily for Paul, Ash was banished and Meg was saved, meaning someone could be killed after all. But given the inevitable murder of Meg will see Paul survive and stay on the show, fans are convinced that it will lead to some if not all of the faithfuls deciding he has to be a traitor. Convinced his downfall was on the way, one viewer posted on X, when Meg gets murdered, it will surely make Paul look guilty because why would the traitors murder someone that so many were suspicious of unless there was no other option? Another agreed, Meg now has to be murdered, which means eyes will go to him. A third fan said, so Meg will be murdered next then. God, I'd love to see Paul caught. That laugh is most annoying. A fourth added, Paul downfall incoming, and I am seated. While a fifth commented, very satisfying that Paul has screwed himself over by being too smug. Just delish. The Traitors UK Series 2 airs Wednesdays, Thursdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. on BBC One and BBC iPlayer.